Hey all, Joe Dragon here with another Black Desert video. Today's video is going to be about the fastest way to get yourself a fishing boat. Now obviously the fastest way to get it would be just buy one, and you can actually get one for about 1.5 million here. That's if there's actually any up for sale, because as you can see, since the game started there's only been 465 sold. At least, I don't know if this is cross-server or not, but it's not often that I actually see them up. The materials themselves will cost you about 900,000 if you were able to buy everything off of the auction house here. But assuming that you want to build it from scratch yourself and save yourself the silver, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to know. First thing you're going to want to do is head to Etheria Port here, which is on the western coast of Calphalon territory. And as you can see right here, you can just follow from the starting area. Say you're just starting out in the game, you can head from, let's see, Olvia is over here. Second town you go to is Vela here. But you can actually just go across the coast here and find your way to the Etheria Port. Now, of course, you can't buy the shipyard here directly, so you're going to have at least 12 points of contribution, and basically you have to buy them in this line here. You have to buy this one first, which is 3-1, first floor. You don't have to buy the second floors, you just need to buy the bottom floor, which is connected to this one, then this one, and further down like this, and then you have to buy the top floor here, which is the shipyard. Now, I recommend turning this one here into a tool workshop, because it's a level 3, and you're going to need quite a bit of tools to actually gather everything yourself. Not to mention the fishing poles that you're going to end up using a ton of. So, you can also turn this into a wood workbench, which is something you're going to need in order to process your birch plywood, and you're going to need 50 of those, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, fishing boat, you need 50 birch plywood, and yeah, you produce those at a wood workshop. Now, there are more than one wood workshops around here. I actually took this one over here because this one can be a level 4 storage, so that's much more useful for me. Alright, now let me show you exactly what you need. Let's see here, for the fishing boat. And you will need 25 usable scantling. Now that's real easy, you're going to get tons of extra logs if you're going after birch plywood. So this is really the easiest thing to get. Now you get 1 or 2 usable scantling for every 10 logs you process by chopping. So you'll need to collect at least 250 to be safe log. Now, birch plywood is made by processing 10 birch planks at your wood workbench, and each birch plank is made by processing 5 birch timber. Now, you usually get 1 to 2, but assuming your luck is really bad and you only get 1 per, you would need a total of 2,500 birch timber. Now, I'm assuming you already know how to process, but just in case you don't, you go to your inventory, hit produce, choose chopping, and you only need 5 of each. Let's see. To go ahead and make your individual planks. Now this could take a while, so it's best to just load up a bunch of them and go AFK for a bit. So, I still don't understand the whole processing is not going according to plan, but yeah. So there you go, 1 and 2. So let's see. As for the usable scantling, same thing. Except I believe this takes 10, like I said before. Yep, there you go. Alright. Now the best place to gather birch wood is going to be Quint Hill. And luckily it's right next to Etheria. It's this whole area up here. And you're going to want to be careful because, as you can see, there is a world boss walking around up here. So, if you're a lower level, you may want to use your apprentice gathering uniform, which you get from the entry-level gathering quests. And with this, basically, you can see here, monsters won't attack first while squatting or gathering. So, basically just hit, let's find a tree here, Q to squat, and you can actually walk around and you should be pretty safe. So I would definitely go ahead and put that on. If you're lower level, you might attract the little minions of the world boss around there. So now the next thing you're going to need is 30 pine sap. Now there are definitely pine in this general area. I've found a bunch along this road here, and you know, you definitely want to have a fluid collector on you at all time in case you run into them. But if you just want to run out to a specific area, the best spot I've found is by Southern Guard Camp. This whole forest around here is full of pine, so you can just get a fluid collector, go out there and get everything you need in 20 minutes or so. Now as for the bronze, you're definitely going to want to pick up a, what do you call it, mineral workbench somewhere along the line. Bronze is made from 25 melted copper shards and 25 melted tin shards. Now you can melt the tin shards and copper shards easily from the ore, but in order to process it into an ingot, you need to do a quest line, and I haven't even completed it yet, so I just basically bought the workbench and hired workers to do it for me because it's a lot easier that way, less energy wasted. So now in order to process the copper shards and tin shards, you're going to need to get the ore and heat it through a processing menu, 5 at a time, just like the wood. Again, I recommend going ahead and hiring workers to do the gathering for you passively. You can get a copper node here, Northern Heidel Quarry, and Coastal Cave also has one. These are pretty plentiful, and it's pretty easy to find copper ore. Tin, on the other hand, one second. I went ahead and found the closest tin node, which is the Crudo Cave, and took a little doing, so you're going to need a lot more contribution points if you want to go this route. Also, there is a lot of tin west of Florin in these mountains here. This is where I found the most tin if I wanted to gather it myself, but it's usually pretty camped. You know, there's a lot of people gathering here, so definitely if you have the contribution, go ahead and set up. And all you really have to do is go from Olivia, or Olvia, up through here, down through Florin, and down to the Crudo Cave. Also next to here is another node for birch here, so that'll help you as far as gathering all the birch you need if you want. Just for the heck of it, I also went ahead and used the birch node, which is right over here at Quinn Hill. The final ingredient is also pretty easy. It's blackstone powder, and I just bought all mine because it's pretty cheap. But if you wanted to, since you're going to have tons of stone, if you're mining all the ore yourself, you can go ahead and process, let's see here, at a refinery, blackstone powder at just 2 rough stones. It's real easy to make, and you're going to end up with a bunch of rough stone. So, especially if you're mining all the copper yourself. So, now as you're gathering, you're going to want to go ahead and start building your boat, because it will take, let's see, your workers quite a while to construct it. And as you can see here, you will have to have a worker assigned 160 times total to build a fishing boat. So you can't just get all the materials and instantly make this. It's going to take a little while. So, as you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3 available workers here at Afira. You can also send them from other cities, but you actually need to have the materials in those city banks where your workers are coming from. So it also takes a lot longer. As you can see, an hour and 30 minutes to get here versus less than a half hour in most cases for your workers in town to get it. So what you're going to want to do is take a worker, assign it the maximum number of times that it'll work, start it. And the great thing about the shipyard and other more complicated crafting areas is you can assign more than one worker at a time. Let's see. You do that up to 17 times. And there you go. Only has 2. So it pays to get as many workers as you can because it's going to take a while. So what you can do is, using the same initial nodes that you purchased here, you can buy this one for lodging, 1 more worker. The one above it, you can hire up to 2 workers additionally from there. And if you have a lot of contribution points to spend, you can go all the way down here, and this lodging will go all the way to 4 extra workers, and the one above it, another 4. So with these 2 purchased, you can actually get 8 extra workers. And in the end, if you have all the materials coming in pretty quickly, definitely want to do that to keep producing them if you want to start selling fishing boats, for instance. But I've been pretty okay with just these 2, and I think I had 1 more, yeah, down here. So now, once completed, you're going to find the fishing boat inside your warehouse, and you just get it and take it over to the nearest wharf master, where you can register it right down there. And then you just got to think of a name. Alright. That'll do. Alright, and there you go. Then just click it and take it out. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope I was able to explain things pretty clearly. If not, if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. At least for a while I'll be able to answer them. Obviously when this video is 2 years old I may not. But until then, I will see you next time.